Hi guys, hopefully all of you are doing well. Today we're going to be making my very simple and easy German chocolate cupcakes. Stay tuned, all you have to do is follow the steps, and we're going to also find out that German chocolate cake and cupcakes have nothing to do with Germany. To start the recipe, I'm going to take 4 ounces of German's chocolate. I'm just going to chop it up so that I can melt it down with my butter. Once the chocolate and the butter is combined, I'm going to put it in the microwave and I'm going to put it on 30 seconds. That's going to start the melting process. After that, I'm going to stir it and put it back in 10-second increments until the chocolate and the butter has combined and is nicely melted. Now we're just going to set our melted chocolate and butter aside just to cool down a little bit. It shouldn't be too steamy. But in the meantime, while that's cooling, I'm just going to separate my eggs and my egg whites. For the frosting, we're going to need some egg yolks. And then for the cake recipe, or I should say cupcakes, we're going to need some whole eggs and some of the whites. For the exact measurements to this recipe, be sure and check out gdseasoning.com. The link will be below in the description and pinned in the comments. So my chocolate is cool enough. I'm going to go ahead and add my white sugar and my brown sugar. I'm just going to blend that until it's nice and creamy. And then I'm going to add my eggs one at a time and also the vanilla extract. Also, let me not forget that there is some buttermilk in this recipe. As you can see, it's over there in the upper left-hand corner of the screen. I added it in after I put the eggs in, but I lost the clip, so you're going to see it in this shot and then you won't, which means I poured it in, all right? Once you add all of the eggs, make sure you scrape down the sides of the bowl to make sure everything is well incorporated before you add the dry ingredients. Next, I took all of my dry ingredients and sifted them. That's some all-purpose flour, some baking soda, and some salt, because we don't want any lumps. And then after that, I'm just going to pour it right into the wet ingredients, and I'm just going to fold the batter just to get the flour mixed in, because I don't want to have flour go everywhere when I start using the hand mixer. So just take the spatula and just kind of give it a gentle fold, and then move straight on to your hand mixer, just until things are incorporated. You don't have to overbeat the batter. To measure out the cupcakes, I found it easiest to use the cookie scoop. It's like a standard cookie scoop, but the measurement for the cupcake is about 1/4 of a cup, just under 1/4 of a cup. We're going to bake these at 350 degrees for about 20 minutes or until a toothpick is inserted and comes out clean. So while the cupcakes are baking, let's talk about German's chocolate quickly. There's different types of chocolate, right? Semi-sweet, bittersweet, and unsweetened. And then there's German's chocolate. German's chocolate is actually named after a person, Samuel German. He was one of the bakers that worked at Baker's around 1852, and he developed this particular type of sweet dark chocolate. So over time, we kind of lazily dropped the S, which shows possession, and it just kind of fell off, and now we recognize this as German chocolate cake, but we should be calling it German's chocolate cake. One of the special things about this German's sweet chocolate is that it's 48% cacao. This is what he developed. Now, depending on where you live, you may have a hard time finding this particular brand or this particular percentage of cacao in sweet chocolate to bake with. You can get away with a semi-sweet with a percentage of about 56%. I've done that before. But if you use any other chocolate with a higher percentage of cacao, it's just going to be a chocolate cake with German chocolate icing. So this particular dessert is completely American, has nothing to do with Germany, and it's not a German dessert. It's named after a person. I didn't think I had to say something on my cake video until someone from Germany said, "Carolyn, you know, we don't have that cake here, but if I miss something, let me know." I told her no, it's an American dessert, and I still wanted her to give the recipe a try. The cupcakes are all done. I let them stay in the muffin tins for about 3 to 5 minutes, and then I turn them out and put them on a cooling rack to cool. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and make our German's chocolate frosting. I said that right. Put on the S. I put the S on. It's so easy to drop it though. Gotta practice that. All right, so I have a pot over about medium heat, and I'm going to toast my coconut. Now, the last video I did with my German's chocolate cake, I didn't toast the coconut, but you have the option to do it or not to do it. So you just got to stand there and kind of babysit and kind of toss your sweetened coconut around just until it gets nice and toasty. And when it's done, set it aside. And then I also pull this footage from the German chocolate cake video because it's the same. It's virtually the same, and I really didn't need to do it all over again. So you have your 4 egg yolks, you have sugar, evaporated milk, and some melted butter, or I should say just butter. It's gonna all melt. The heat wasn't even on at this point. I turned the heat on about medium-low and let everything kind of melt and meld together. I cooked this frosting for about 20 minutes, and I show you at each step how it's supposed to look. It's going to eventually thicken. The written recipe has all of the specific instructions. At the 20-minute mark, it's pretty much done. It's nice and thick. You go ahead and add your toasted pecans and your toasted coconut and your vanilla extract, and it is all ready to go. Just let it cool a little bit before you start putting the frosting on your cake and or cupcakes. In this case, we're making cupcakes. So I let it cool for about 20 minutes or so. If you want it to cool faster, take it out of the skillet or your pot and put it in a nice bowl, and it'll cool down a little faster. These are so good and moist and easy to make. They're appropriate to take anywhere. You can take them to baby showers, birthday parties, school, work. It all works. Thank you guys so much for joining me. You know I appreciate it when you come cook with me and hang out. Don't forget, this recipe and others can be found at gdseasoning.com. And I'll see you next time.